Love this podcast? Support this show through the Acast supporter feature. It's up to you how much you give, and there's no regular commitment. Just hit the link in the show description to support now.
These marriages are not perfect, but all in all, they seem to work. Marriage is an institution for grown-ups.
It's like a love-hate relationship.
There are no bosses in a modern marriage. He knows he's lucky to have a wife.
Hello everybody, welcome to episode 32 Take two of Husband and Wife Sentenced to Life with me, Simon, with Laura over there, who's giving me the eye at the minute.
Yes, I am. I'm peed off because you're a dickhead.
I'm a what?
You're a dickhead. You're a see you next Tuesday.
We've just done the big walk around the beach, back up towards Foreplay Power Station, back up the one that we keep posting pictures and talking about when we're doing the podcast.
Yeah.
Got back to the house, sit down to do a very quick edit. I'm rushing because we've got to go out for the day 8 test today.
Yes.
And through a genuine audio mistake, I deleted the audio.
And now I should be having a relaxed coffee and then getting ready.
Yeah.
But no, you've called me in here.
Mm-hmm. But I'll tell you this is the first genuine thing you should be annoyed with me for this audio.
Oh, is it?
Every other time,
right. Yeah.
you've been horrible.
No.
So, we're going to do a quick 10-minute run through on yesterday.
Yeah.
It started as a grey day.
Yeah, it did.
It was a grey day, followed by Gay Lay taking us her way to Hythe to catch the ferry.
The old Hythe Ferry pier, which the train part of it, the pier, is the world's oldest train pier.
You should have some facts on this, how long it is and stuff like that. But it's very cute. Hythe itself, tiny little riverside town.
Well, you like Hythe.
Well, no, because you've grown up here, so I get why to you it's an absolute old dump full of people you hate, full of
Yeah.
But to me, it's somewhere I've never been. I can drive down road, the next village down, I can walk around and find something beautiful in it because I don't know it.
Yeah.
You live there for 5 minutes. It's horrible.
Yeah, no, I get it.
You talk about places around here where we are now at your parents', places not too far away, and you're like, oh, scum of the earth, scum of the earth. Well, I have seen a fair few Union Jacks flying. So, we went to the Hythe ferry terminal. It's down a rickety old pier. There's a little old man who works there.
Yeah, he does all the jobs.
He takes your tickets. And then he swaps caps.
Yeah.
And he gets on the little train.
With a quick swig of tea in between.
Yeah, and he takes you along the pier. You can walk it, but we wanted...
The whole experience.
Yeah. So we rode along on the rickety old train, got the ferry across to Southampton.
It was the little ferry.
Now, this brings back memories for you, of course.
Again, see, it's funny because I never saw that as like a novelty thing, because every Saturday, my dad and I, we would go on the ferry across to Southampton and then onto the Dell to watch the football match. So that was just like a regular
I bet the
thing.
first time you ever did it was novelty.
I can't remember that, but I didn't realise, that I'd never taken Betsy on it, and so
you never took me on it. So yeah.
Now I have. I've taken you on it.
Little ferry ride up Southampton. A quick 10-15 minute walk to Hertz. We picked up our first hire car, which is the hire car before the hire car.
Yeah, only you would have double hire car.
Well, I said this on the third podcast, so I feel like I'm repeating a joke here, but I call it...
I'm laughing, like waiting for you to say the joke now.
Hire car foreplay.
Yeah, everybody likes a bit of foreplay.
Yes, I wouldn't know. The second hire car is the biggie. It's the full bore. It's the one that's going to take you to the climax of flying back to Dubai. Morning, Dennis.
Morning.
So the first hire car is the foreplay to the main hire car. You should enjoy it because you don't often get that first hire car.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's a nice car.
It's got little Racer Boy stripes on it even, so...
Yeah, it's cute, right?
Yeah.
And I love it. I love all cars. Then we nipped across to Ikea.
Well, it wasn't so much a nip, but yeah.
Well, worst part of the day for me.
Yeah, well, it was something that had to be ticked off the list of things to do. Obviously, we've got to get a load of household stuff for Leo to moving in for his first ever
And it was
flat.
another opportunity to be disappointed in him for me. And I'll tell you why, because we get to the duvets bit, and Leo is the caterpillar wanting to be the butterfly. I might have said this before. He's been oppressed his whole life here. He's not been able to express himself, right? Leo likes Hawaiian shirts and colour, and he wants to break out from being this quiet, sensible boy that he's been.
He wants to bleach his hair.
We get to the duvet section. He picks He's
gone for a four-tog.
No, but not the duvet itself. He's picked the most John Major, grey, boring duvet covers. I'm like, Leo, this is another chance for you. They had a blue leopard print one. Now, that might sound horrible to anybody listening, but I said to Leo, if you've got that in your room, it'll be something people notice when they walk past. They'll be like, love your duvet cover, kid.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, no.
He weren't having it. He just bought, like, they look like shrouds. They look like what you wrap dead people in. And they're going to smell like what you wrap dead people in.
Oh, God. He told me, I might change my bed once a month, and I was like, oh. But yeah,
you'll get a reputation.
He's gone for 4-tog, which, knowing what the winter nights are like here, I said to him, at least go for a 12-tog.
Yeah, but he's going to have, remember the old Ready Brek adverts with the glow?
Yeah.
And they used to call it central heating for kids. He's going to have the glow of funk. Cheap alcohol. Cheap alcohol and funk and boy funk. So yeah, Ikea shop done, 200 quid. He
didn't understand, I don't think, the value of the money in there.
No, because we said it to him, about 10 minutes later in car he went, yeah, thanks for that, guys. This real half-assed
I think he appreciates it, but I don't think he realises, like, he was picking up 50 quid pillows, and I'm like, nah, let's have a look for a cheaper pillow than that.
Here's a kid, in a couple of weeks, 50 pence is going to be like the holy grail to him, 50 pence.
Yeah, definitely. He's got something to learn, definitely.
So that's Ikea done.
Yeah.
We tried to get out of car park. We failed because it's like when you come back to England after being away or to any country, everything's changed and everything's futuristic. Well, it's a space car park.
I don't think people understand when we come back here, we feel like foreigners now. Everything is different.
Yeah.
And I'm constantly having to say to my mum, when you go to so-and-so, do they take this? Do we do this? And it must sound weird, but...
I don't know what that was.
Oops. Let me check.
No, it's on. Okay. Don't touch your mic. It's all good. I don't know what it was.
Okay, yeah. So it's a weird thing for us having to get used to the ways of the world.
We got stuck at the barrier.
Yeah.
And we just all freeze. We're like, what have we done?
And you couldn't reverse because there was already cars behind you calling you.
Anyway,
the W word.
It was the swipe. You just had to swipe your card, pay 3 quid, get out.
But yeah, I was impressed with how quickly you sussed it out.
We then reconvened with mother-in-law, Gaye.
Yeah.
At the Mayflower Theatre. Right next to it, there's a pub called the Mayflower Village.
Yeah.
You can't take your mother anywhere. I mean, you've been bumped into by a few random strangers already on this break.
Yeah.
Your mother knows everybody from Luton.
Well, she was having lunch before lunch.
Yeah. So we walk in and she's at a table, and I thought, God, she looks like your mum. I'm like, it is your mum. And it was some like distant cousins or something.
No, it was her cousin.
Right. So then we sit down. We have a bit of food.
Yeah.
And here we should mention your alter ego. See, I'm Simon, but also Catboy, radio guy. You're Lorra, but also Chip Advisor.
Chip Advisor.
I think Dennis is about to do another flyby. He's going to make another podcast appearance. You've heard a lot about him. Here he comes. Shout hello, Dennis.
Hello.
There you go. He's on the podcast. He's not as bad as I make him sound on here. Yeah, so Chip Advisor, your alter ego, is a chip tester. First happened, 5 years ago in Cyprus, roughly?
Yeah, well, I just had a craving for wherever we went. I wanted salad with chips and burger with chips.
And then the idea was born that you review the chips.
Yeah.
Now, it's something we've not really committed to.
Yeah.
But now, we're doing it.
But it's copyrighted, that is.
Chip Advisor.
Yeah.
You've already done the rating for the Drift on Bewley Road, which is quite a swanky pub, and the prices match.
The prices have gone up there, yeah.
You have done the Evergreen Chinese last night, Chinese takeaway.
And they taste different already, don't they, Chinese chips?
You have had chips from Holbury Fish Bar, but as yet we've not videoed the review, so we might pop down there and do a shopfront review.
Yeah, and it's lovely that we're getting in places to review from people.
Yeah, so if you've got a place in the Hampshire region or the Bristol region as we head over there,
it will continue.
Let us know. We've already been told to review it's called begins with P in Hythe, on the little high street in Hythe, the pedestrian bit. There's a chippy there. We saw it yesterday.
Yes, that is one of those chippies when you walk past, you get that instant fish and chip shop smell, like sea air type. That is a good one.
I can't remember what it was, but we'll work it out. Hold on a minute.
But everything comes into account, portions.
New Forest Bistro. Somebody, Tony Delaney says, try the fish and chips from the New Forest Bistro, taken down to eat at Leap Beach. 10 out of 10, she says.
Well, you see, I don't mind Leap, but you see, Calshot, I'm a Calshot girl, so...
Cat Openshaw, Philpotts in Hythe, do the best chips, do a takeout, then sit out the back and watch all the boats. It's our first stop off the plane when we get home. Lovely.
Oh, that's good.
So these are the kind of messages we want from you. It's always nice to hear.
Yeah.
So Chip Advisor.
And I've had another recommendation from lovely Lisa who said Holby Fish Bar. Which
you will do today.
You're making me do it again, aren't you?
So we went to the Mayflower Village pub, nice enough pub.
Yeah.
Bit worrying because it didn't feel that busy, and they said, order your food quick because it could take a long time.
Yeah.
And we've got theatre tickets. But you reviewed the chips in there. Now you can see this if you go onto my Instagram. On my stories, there's one called Isolation Diaries. If you've missed the live reviews that day, you can see them all on there.
Yeah.
Lovely food. Then we were into the theatre. And the sense of excitement walking into that theatre, I was walking behind you and I videoed it, and you, I think, got butterflies as you walked in. This is your theatre.
Yeah, no, I did. I got goosebumps and I nearly cried just walking in there. It's where I went with my granddad, watching several shows, my mum, and it's just always been. I have been on the stage, performed there as well. But it's and Blood Brothers is my absolute favourite musical ever.
So the five of us walking, we were there a little bit earlier. There were some people inside, and we walked down. We were on row F, so pretty close. Good seats, right in the centre. Although you do know I like an end seat in case there's a fire.
Yeah.
Save yourself, Simon. And we sit down, and it looks socially distanced because there's people scattered around, and I'm thinking, oh, well, that's nice. It's like Dubai.
Yeah.
We were wearing masks anyway. We are being very safe. We've got our tests today. Within 20 minutes, that theatre was packed to the rafters. There wasn't an empty seat in the house.
No, which I was a little surprised at because, I knew that obviously theatres and venues had shut, and I thought they would do it gradually. And like you said, like Dubai, have social distancing between seats. It felt a little strange to me to be so close to people. There was a nice buzz about it, don't get me wrong, but I was a little bit wary of it.
Hundreds of school kids, over 500 school kids,
yep.
But they're all really well behaved.
They were, actually. They were really well behaved.
And Blood Brothers itself, you've been talking about this, our entire relationship, telling me about it. I got it mixed up with Band of Brothers, which I think was a TV show about the army.
Yeah.
And I don't give a hoot about stuff like that, so I didn't want to see it.
It took you a while.
And
it's one of those shows, whenever we've come back to the UK, and we stay in London sometimes, and I secretly Google Blood Brothers to see if it's on anywhere nearby.
Don't say secretly like you're in an abusive relationship, Laura, because whatever you secretly Google, you always end up secretly buying. Anyway.
Well, it's never been on at the same time, and so I was so excited that I could finally get to show you.
And at the Mayflower.
I didn't even give you a choice. I was like,
no, you didn't.
We're going.
And that's why you didn't get any choice in my spite by a vinyl, which is going to continue for the next few weeks.
My only sadness is that Honey wasn't there to watch it with us.
Yeah.
But it was. I was so excited.
Last time we were at that theatre was for pantomime with the Chuckle Brothers and Craig Revel. What's his name? Craig Revel Horwood.
Yeah.
He was the dame, obviously.
Paul's a friend of ours, obviously.
Yeah, so we went backstage, and it was the last time we saw Barry before he passed away. So quite special memories. I know you've got loads from there, but that was a really special time. Anyway.
So what did you think?
Absolutely loved it. We've just been talking about this on the other podcast, sadly gone. To me, there's something about a musical like this where it's like a British, it's got British humour, and I hate that because I hate people who say, it's a Scouse based musical, and I'm not that keen on people who go, oh, we're Scouse, we've got a very great sense of humour. Everyone's got a sense of humour.
Yeah, well, it's written by Willie Russell, so
I'm not saying it like the British are the funniest people on earth, all right?
But it's a different sense of humour.
But it could have been a straight musical with a really serious edge and some great songs. But the fact that every 5 minutes there's a laugh out loud moment.
Yeah, and it was, even Betsy was laughing out loud, which
9 years old,
so
Betsy
nice.
Pearl was laughing, loved every song, still singing every song, as was I. We came home and listened to the soundtrack.
Well, she
and
kept saying it was amazing, which was so nice.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know if it would be a little bit too old for her. I knew she'd like some bits, but because it's quite an emotional story.
Yeah. Look, I want to say it's my favourite musical. The spectacle of
That's
Phantom, the both times we've seen it in New York and in Dubai, has blown me away. Right, but I mean, it is an amazing show.
That was my worry, because I'd said to you and Leo beforehand, do not expect your Phantoms, your Les Mis, because it's not that kind of show. It's not your big, massive production. And then Cats is something I've never wanted to see, but I didn't realise I knew half the songs, and it turns out you do. And then the songs you don't know are mental. It's like they've been written by somebody on LSD. And the outfits are stupid, and it was in Dubai Opera, which is an amazing venue. We did see a very good version.
And I came out absolutely buzzing, full of adrenaline. And I've still to this day, one of my greatest memories. So this, I'd say this, compared to them musicals, is almost halfway to being panto, end of pier, a bit slapstick in places.
Oh, and a play. It's a play.
And it's got that drama club feel to it.
Well, this is, again, because that's what I am. I'm ex-drama student teacher, so I had that point, like, where I thought, oh gosh, are they going to like it because it's a play more than it's a musical? But then it's not. And
well, if anyone's seen League of Gentlemen, they do this fake theatre group on there called Legs Akimbo, and they over-egg the drama. And when the men come on as boys at the beginning, it felt a bit Legs Akimbo, but you said you have to go with it. So look, 10 out of 10. It's definitely in my top 3 musicals ever. 4 were Les Mis. So I'm not saying it's at number 4. It's so fresh, it's number 1.
Yeah.
I need to give it a bit of time. You were right. And I'm so pleased I got to see it with you, with Betsy Pearl, in that theatre.
Me too.
So that's great.
I'm so happy.
Of course, it wouldn't be a trip out with your mother, my mother-in-law, Gay Lay, without a classic
without a Gay Layism.
Now, this is going to sound like every time we talk about her, we're making it up.
Oh no, people that know her, there's always a story.
Yeah.
There's always a story with my mother.
So this is what happened yesterday.
Well, I heard her chatting to Leo, oh, Leo, what was it, that show we saw in here, the circusy one, where they were throwing cobwebs out and big balls to the audience? And he's like, oh, I can't remember the name of it. So then Leo's nudging me saying, Nanny is Googling big balls show on the internet. And of course, what's coming up? Man with massive testicles.
Yeah, she probably knows him. She knows everybody.
Yeah, but Leo was like, oh, Nanny.
Look, let's leave it there today because we've got 50 minutes before we set off. The teenager is still...
The coffee's cold.
Coffee's cold. Teenager's still fast asleep. We've got to rouse them. We've got to get everybody ready. We've got to get out. I'm gonna leave this practically unedited. By the way, we're recording in the conservatory at your house, on the back of the house. And the reason I said we should do it is because we did the walk, bit of light spitting.
Yeah.
And then we came back.
The big shower came.
And as I realised I'd lost the recording, it started, you can see it on my stories, it was thundering down with rain. And I'm like, let's record in here for the ambience. There's none of that now, we're just sat in a glass box.
Yeah.
So we'll be back tomorrow. Today we're going off for the day 8 test. Now, have these got a special name? Is it just PCR? Is it TTR? Is it just...
Just day 8. Just day 8. End of the pack.
Yeah. We'll report back on that tomorrow, and if it lightens up a bit, we're going to try and find something around Hampshire. Yeah. Betsy Pearl to do. No doubt you'll be
any places that you think we should go as well. Tell us those.
Yeah.
In New Forest or Bristol.
Keep the Chip Advisor suggestions coming. It doesn't have to be a chippy. It can be a pub. It can be a restaurant. Whatever. Yeah. Best chips you've ever had around here. And
if any of you know the Big Balls show, let me know.
Yeah, the name of the Big Balls show, where there's big balls and they shoot white cobwebs at you.
Yeah.
I think you know what we're talking about.
Yeah, I know what show my mum went to.
See you tomorrow, everybody.
Bye.
The end.